Hello there, Reverend Michael McMorrow, coming to you from the sanctuary of the Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills, California, which is in the North San Fernando Valley. We are a friendly spiritual community who welcome all who practice their beliefs in faith and love, or if you just want to explore what that might look like, that would be okay too, if you're not sure. And I'm joined tonight by our presider, the wonderful Beverly Scott, who is also one of our practitioners here. And we have Renzen holding down the fort in the back with the tech, Captain Tech. All right, so we're going to just start the evening the way we start every service here at our center. Let me before we get into that, if this is your first time, welcome, and we will get right into it now. So let's just start by taking a deep conscious breath and release. And in that release, we're just allowing ourselves to kick the dust off the sandals, the workday, releasing the cares, concerns, the trials, tribulations, the worldly clamors, just releasing them all now as we come together for our call to service, which we call lighting the flames of faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. That fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this evening. So as Beverly lights the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. The second candle we light for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. The fifth candle we light for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. The sixth candle we light for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here in our sanctuary, within our online community, and of course within our own hearts. And as Beverly lights the healing candle, please say aloud or put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experienced a healing flame, God's eternal love. So we just remember the family of John Sparks this week as they work through their grief and release of our friend John Sparks last Saturday.
So grateful, I'm one with the Spirit all around me. trust in God. I surrender, I surrender. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender. I trust in God.
As we turn within this evening, we breathe in the breath of life from the Creator of the heavens, the earth, the universe. We're here once again to commune with self, the oneness that is available, the peace, the love that accompanies this wonderful presence. I am so thankful for the realization and the acknowledgement that the Spirit is everywhere present in my life, in the lives of those that I love, in all conditions, in all situations. Let's enjoy this moment, the hour that is before us. Reverend Mike bringing forth the knowledge and truth, the very bread of life that we need, the Word, to carry us on through the rest of this week. I speak my word for my sisters and brothers that are there feeling health issues, that are wondering what the next moment is going to bring. But we all can stand in the knowledge and knowing that we are protected and all is well. Acknowledging the truth and giving thanks to Father, Mother, God for his constant support and guidance. I speak my word knowing that all is well in my life and in the life of each and every being. This evening I release my word to the high law, expecting nothing less than divine right action and complete fulfillment. Let us join in affirming that life is good, and so it is.
So it is.
Amen. Oh, here we are in the middle of the week, ready to be revived, rejuvenated, and sustained. And that is what we will get this evening. That's the beauty of being able to come out in person for our Wednesday night healing, as well as to be at home and watch us on YouTube. That's okay too, but we'd love to see you. This evening, I'd like to speak with you about meditating on today I meet my good. The meditation, the infinite law of good, brings me complete satisfaction. Good is forever expressing itself to me and all whom I love, which is everyone. I realize that this good recognizes me and I cannot depart from it. I love knowing that truth. I have implicit confidence in that invisible part of me that is my share of the God nature, my partnership with the infinite, my oneness with all that is, from the blade of grass to the glorious mountaintops. Today, I accept my good. Today, I bless that good and cause it to multiply in my experience. I know the infinite creative law of good is always bringing complete satisfaction into my life. Today and every day, let's meet our good. The affirmation to support this: I align with my divine purpose, and I set my intention to be an instrument of good in this world. The quote I'd like to leave with you to support the meditation that you'll walk away with and I will hold: simplicity should make our every effort, and positivity should accompany all statements that we make into the law of good. This is from Science of Mind textbook, page 46, paragraph 6. Today, I meet my good. I encourage the same for each and every one of you. I do have a few announcements for you. Sunday, June 12th, if you would like prayer support, you can find a practitioner online at cslgh.org. Thank you. Each Sunday we have fellowship meetings with the Healing and Support Group. Upcoming events, I'd like to remind each and every one of you that there will be a friendship fundraiser this coming Saturday, June 11th at 5 p.m. Please look to the electronic content for the location. Animal Kingdom Group online Sunday. The Essential Ernest Holmes online course beginning this Tuesday, June 14th, with Dr. Maureen. We are so happy to have each and every one of you to visit us via YouTube, online. I'd like to always extend the in-person each Sunday, 9 a.m. and 10:30. Thank you so much for attending our healing and meditation.
All right, thank you, Beverly. So let's give her some love on the chat. Love chat. Yeah. You know, I gotta tell you, if you take this spirituality thing too seriously, you're missing it, right? To be one with the Spirit is to live a joyous life. These old notions of piety and suffering, you know, the world has learned all it needs to know from that. I've been reading Matthew Fox. He has a new book out that's a compilation of his teachings and his theology around, well, not his theology, but theology that he developed some more called creation theology. And the thing that's really touching me about this is the fact that he was a Dominican priest. And got his doctorate in theology in Paris. And he just has some really wonderful notions about spirituality that really resonate with me and resonate with this theme that we have going on for the month of June, based in creativity. Because he's speaking to for us to really have an engagement with the Spirit, we need to step away from the aesthetic, right? That pious way of living and suffering, and instead step into the aesthetic, which is that the recognition and appreciation of beauty, of joy, of passion. And those aspects of the human condition that are an expression of the divine. So he points out, rightly, I think, and I have been contemplating these things over the years myself, right, that there is a cosmic unity to all of life. So if this notion of the Big Bang is more than just a theory and in fact a fact, right, that all of creation as we know it happened out of an instantaneous explosion from nothing to everything. And of course, the way that they're measuring this, going all the way back to the astronomer Hubble, is by measuring light in the cosmos, and they're proving that the universe is expanding. This is where this whole notion came from. Well, why is it expanding, and why does it have this same constant? Because it all started from one spot in the center 13.8 billion years ago. And that we are the logical expression of that. That we came right out of that moment, which ties in, if we look at Genesis from this understanding, or from this viewpoint, we come to see that we have a cosmology, a cosmic spirituality that has within it a sense of unity, of multi-expression of matter in all of its forms, rather than this binary expression of the fall redemption notion of original sin. And instead then, we live from original blessing. This is the inspiration, I think, also for this fellow who put this philosophy together, Ernest Holmes, along with many others. So that doesn't mean that the old denominational way of looking at the world as in right and wrong, good and bad, is rejected entirely and tossed out, but rather it is expanded to be more inclusive, which was in fact the message of Jesus the Christ, was to be more inclusive, less judgmental, more forgiving, to be the compassionate as our Father is compassionate, from Luke. This is the great promise, really, and what is really being called for in the world. You know, I don't know that people are really leaving religion so much as that religion has left most people. And I feel that there is a longing within the human heart for a cosmic connection that sees a depth and an essence to life that is truth and beauty and light and an expression of unconditional love, and to call that forth so that more people, all people, but we can start with more people, are living lives where they feel connected and supported and loved and have expressions of compassion within it. And that loving kindness is the coin of the realm that is both received and shared by all. And I know that's a tremendous, that's kind of a what an order. And I know it kind of sounds Pollyannish, but I'm really coming to see how this is the next evolution for the human species. And if we fail in this regard, well, we're doomed. So, but the great thing about this is that we don't have to go looking anywhere outside of ourselves, right? That this living spirit is not binary. It's not either or, right? It just is. It's unity. It's only one thing. We are only one thing in expression. All of life is this one thing from this one cosmic moment expressing in this beautiful, mysterious, cosmological, creative process of which our thought has a resonance, a vibration, an effect that is responded to in this grand cosmic spiritual realm. And that's what this is all about, right? Because what we're really wanting to do through these meditations and these healings is to have an experience of the spirit that can only be experienced, well, not only, but is most easily or most readily experienced when we take the time to be still and practice being still, right? Because usually God does not have a bullhorn screaming, "Don't go there." It's usually whispers. And I think that in modern life we're so distracted and maybe even overwhelmed by our commitments in life that many of us have discounted that. But the ancients believed that voice inside their head was in fact the Spirit speaking to them. And, since the Enlightenment, I suppose, we've gotten away from that. For good reason, we can talk ourselves into all kinds of calamities, right? But you know the difference, see, by doing things like this, practicing being still, you get the gift, not only the gift of grace, which is unearned, it just is, awaiting our recognition of it. But with it we get discernment, and are intuitively guided to making choices that raise our life for the good and raise the lives around us as well. And we're doing it in conscious ways, which is the fun part. Because sometimes it shows up when you're not looking for it. And then you just kind of go, wow, isn't God cute? So we've been working with this 365 and creativity for the month of June. And this is, You know, when we're in the zone spiritually, this affirmation is the way that we can start our day without even saying it, because we know it, our oneness with the divine so completely that we just intuitively know it. When Holmes writes, "The Spirit of the Almighty goes before me." I know. So just close your eyes for a moment and just let these words wash over you. I know that the power of good is an underlying principle of the universe, and that it is a manifestation of Mother, Father, God. Now, why would we say Mother, Father, God? Because God is is free of gender. It's all gender combined. So it's kind of clumsy, but it's true if you think on it for just 2 seconds. I know that God is all good. I know that good underlies all manifestations of thought and form, because good is harmony, complete balance. Good is at the root of all demonstration, regardless of its seeming absence. I know that this good is the basic principle of my existence. That which I am is good. It is the vital living force that supports my every thought and deed when they are in harmony with it. Today, I uncover the perfection within me. In its fullness, I revel and reveal the indwelling kingdom. I look out upon the world of my affairs, knowing that the Spirit within me makes my way both immediate and easy. I know there is nothing in me that could possibly obstruct or withhold the divine circuit of life and love which good is. My word dissolves every negative thought or impulse that could throw a shadow over this perfection. Good flows through me to all. Good shines through my thoughts and actions. Good harmonizes my body so that it is revitalized and manifests perfection in every cell, every organ, every function. Good harmonizes my mind so that love sings joyously in my heart, and I am completely conscious of all good in me, around me, and in all that is. I am in complete unity with my good. So I love when Holmes writes in this fashion, because he really is trying to encourage us to unshackle ourselves from this notion of God, because it's such a loaded word, right? Now, for some of us, that word may offer solace and comfort. But I suspect that for many people, it's kind of a mixed bag. And so Holmes just moves away from the use of the word, and he'll say things like, well, let's just call it God, right? That's an Emma Curtis Hopkins idea that, God the good. My good is my God, God is my good, right? Call it life, right? In other words, let's not quibble over that, but instead work towards opening our heart and releasing the attachments of the mind that try to define, classify, quantify everything, and just allow ourselves to have an experience of the Spirit. Right? So let's play with that tonight. Right? Let's see if we can connect with a sense of the cosmology of our spirituality. Right? The cosmology of which we are stardust set into motion 13.8 billion years ago to be exactly where we are today. That's like a pretty wild idea, man. Pass the bowl. Right? That's wild, right? But it's all on the natch. That's the thing. All right, so let's just take a deep breath and release. Ooh, was that me? I think it was. Sorry about that. So let's just follow the breath. Of course, what we mean by that is just paying attention to the movement of the breath in the nostril. And I'm going to ask Renzen if he can put the air back on, because it's summertime up here. And as we bring our attention to the movement of the breath, the mind begins to settle. So tonight, let's set an intention to allow the heart to open and the mind to detach. To any notion or idea of what's supposed to be happening. And as we follow the breath, paying attention now to the exhale. So we move our attention to the exhale and the movement of the breath on the upper lip. Taking a deep conscious breath in and release as we move into the silence for about 15 minutes or so. attention gently back into the room, staying with the breath, staying with the exhale. Bringing our attention to our heart center. Knowing with me this flame of the divine, which resides within the heart, the indwelling presence with which we bring our attention and bring the breath to, fanning this flame now. With each inhale, this flame growing in radiance and brilliance, this ball of light, this cosmic ball of light and love within the heart center, expanding with each in-breath. We feel the heart expanding, our chest expanding, as this light now extends beyond our torso, side to side, front to back, top to bottom. Just take a moment to appreciate the vibration, the light, the energetic of love that's in this field of light and love. Staying with the breath, knowing it's expanding even more. Feeling the very room in which we are meditating. This room is filled with light and love, the energetic of the living spirit, its creativity and intelligence, its compassion and loving kindness. Extending even now, joining our friends on this meditation this evening or even later for those tuning in, that we are connecting, that we are bound by nothing. That space-time is the realm of the divine in all expression. So we feel a sense of connectedness, of peaceful abiding, of knowing all is well. For what we are experiencing now in this place of peace and harmony is Spirit itself, that which is all power, everywhere present, is all-knowing and always active. That this power, this presence, this light and love is activated at an atomic level. Every atom, every molecule, every cell, every organ, every muscle, every bone, every sinew, every neuron is activated and vibrating as a pattern of perfection that is its logical expression, a logical expression of life as the allness of the divine expressing as our life. So we just feel a sense of awe and deep gratitude in knowing this truth for ourselves. And as we know this truth for ourselves, we know it is true for others. that our heart is cracked open, is running over in the overflow of light and love for ourselves, for our fellows, for our relationships and family and business and offices and our working life. We just feel the flow of that, the endless flow, for it is infinite in nature, and we are that expressing. And so we release any attachment to old thought forms unlike these. We release any attachments unknown to us, that we know that in this moment they are obliterated, that there is no obstacle to our good. So we allow ourselves to feel a sense of being lifted and raised as expressions of the Most High. And we take this into the rest of our evening. And as we make our way home tonight, we arrive home safely and in good order. Going through the rest of our evening, as we lay to rest and our head hits the pillow, we drift off easily and effortlessly to a deep and restful sleep filled with sweet dreams of promise and health and joy and passion. That we awaken feeling refreshed and energized and excited for the day, stepping confidently into the day, knowing that we are intuitively guided into ways of thinking and being to live our most effective, productive life full of loving kindness and compassion for ourselves and for others. So we take a deep conscious breath, and we just release all of this to that aspect of the mind or the divine, expressing his unconditional love as the law of its own being, that aspect of the living spirit that knows only to say, yes, my beloved. Yes, in you I am well pleased. So we release it all now, knowing there is nothing to do but to allow. To release and allow. This is what we do. We let it be so. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. Amen. So again, thank you for joining us this evening. So for those of you who are local here, remember we have that friend raising. So it's just an opportunity for the 9 o'clock and the 10:30 service to get together and just meet each other. We have new friends, we have longtime friends. So let's just get together and break some bread from like 5 till 9, 10 o'clock. The weather should be nice by then. And Stephanie's coming, so we both look forward to seeing all of you there. If you don't have the address yet, drop me an email, revmike@cslgh.org, and I'll drop you the address, and I will get you on the RSVP list, all right? But don't forget, you've been putting it off. So make it happen now. All right, peace and blessings. Have a wonderful rest of the week. I'll see you at 10:30 on Sunday, if not before. All right. Love to you all. Bye now.